guys, it's Todd. Welcome back. And if you're new, welcome. Thanks so much for stopping by. I really appreciate ya. So today we're going to be looking at the books that I read over the past week. I did get 4 done. So excited. Pretty good reads. Except for one. One was, I made it through it, but that was it. I just made it through it. So the first one that I read, it's called Never Lie by Frida McFadden. And this one was very interesting. Whenever all those twists and turns starts coming, it's like, wow, okay, there we are. So this one is about Trisha and Ethan. They're newlyweds and it's time to buy a house. So they've been looking and looking and looking. Well, this one listing comes up, and it's like this manor, like a really big house, fairly cheap, and they're like, yeah, we got to see this thing. This house belonged to Dr. Hale, who is a psychiatrist. She went missing 4 years ago. They're around about. And I don't think anybody's been, from what I can gather, actively charged with her disappearance. They say the boyfriend, but nothing's actually been done. So anyway, these two people want to see it. So they drive up to the house. They're waiting on the real estate agent. She doesn't show. All of a sudden, it's a blizzard. They are stuck there. So it's going to be a long night. So she likes to read, the main character, Trisha. So she decides she's going to go look on the bookshelves, because there are plenty of bookshelves in this house, honey. And she's going to find her something to read. Well, she stumbles upon a hidden secret room. Within that room, she finds hundreds, thousands of tapes, because this psychiatrist, she had an at-home office, but she recorded all of her interviews with her patients, labeled them a specific way. There's a whole color chart to it. It was pretty interesting the way she did actually label them. So anyway, so the girl decides she is going to listen to some of these tapes that were close to the time of the disappearance of this psychiatrist and see if she can figure out what happened. Like maybe where her body is or where she is, because she's like, well, maybe she's not dead. Maybe she is. I don't know. So we get to listen to some of these patient tapes along with her and kind of put clues together. And some of these patients are a little crazy, if you know what I mean. So anyway, we're listening. We're finding clues. The house is like freaking the girl out. But then when the twists start coming, y'all, Oh, didn't see that from the beginning, and let me just say, yeah, that author got me. I didn't see it. There was like a specific point where, okay, now I'm going to let you know, and yeah, now you let me know. Absolutely enjoyed that book, like so much. Now this next one, not so much. The next one I read was The Last Party by Claire McIntosh. I liked the storyline. However, I did not like how it was all played out in the book. Meaning, like for instance, this book is about a party. Everybody comes down. Next thing you know, one of like the most influential people or whatever in the area is missing. And then he's dead. He's later dead. You find out. So everybody becomes a suspect at that point. So we have 2 police departments working together on this because of where it happened at. They can't secure jurisdiction until a certain point. But we're getting like real time right now, and then all of a sudden you jump backwards to whatever day they're talking about, and you hear the story from that, and then it jumps forward, and then it jumps way back, and it's just a lot of jumping, and some of it I feel like it was repetitive. Like we've already heard that part of the story, but we're gonna do it again. So that was the only thing for me. It was just it was a little hard to understand, to kind of keep track of who did what to who and who was where and who's the actual suspect. Except if the storyline would have been more of a right to left, a left to right situation, whatever the case. Not so much jumping back in time and forward in time and it. I think I would have enjoyed it more because the premise of it was great. Once they started giving you the plot points, like it made sense, but to get there, it was a journey, and it's just one journey I didn't quite like to take. And from what I can gather, this is going to be a series. I'm thinking because on, I think it was on GoodReads I saw, it said book 1 for this detective's, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Series, perhaps? Like, it's not on the book itself, but on GoodReads it said book 1 up. So I don't know how many more are going to be made with the female detective. I really liked her. Even the male detective, I liked their back and forth banter. So yeah, it was okay. I just didn't like the way the information was presented personally for me. All right, then the next one was by Ruth Ware, The Woman in Cabin 10. And this one, I can't, let me see if I can find the synopsis. The woman, she works for some type of, what is it called? Like a travel blog or whatever. And she is basically like, hey, you're going to go and do this cruise because the person who originally was supposed to do it is unable to. So she decides, okay, I'm going to go. Quite a few things happen leading up to her departure. Her house is burglared, so she has this really gnarly bruise from that, and just things kind of scare her right now. Her name is Lo. I think it was short for Lauren or something like that. So Lo, it gets on this cruise ship. Everything is fine at that point. Then she realizes she doesn't have mascara, so she goes and bangs on the door of the cabin next to her, which happens to be cabin 10, and borrows a mascara from this woman. The woman says you can have it, whatever. Well, then later that night, after fraternizing, on the cruise ship and dinner and the drinks and the everything, she hears this splash and she sees blood on the balcony. She alerts whoever she thinks she needs to alert. And then next thing you know, like, she's asking all these questions. Nothing is being done. Like, they just don't get it, I guess. They're like, this lady's crazy. And then, so we go through the whole journey of her trying to, like, do something about it because there is a missing person that nobody seems to think is missing. So we get to see her struggle with people not believing her, people just pushing her aside whenever they should be assisting her. And the way this one ends, holy Lord, I didn't see it. I always say that I didn't see it, but I really didn't. Like, I prefer a book that I'm not going to solve. Like, I wanted to throw me for a loop. And yeah. This one did it. This was really good. I know not a lot of people were, like, crazy about a lot of Ruth Ware books, but I don't know. The ones that I've read by Ruth Ware, I've enjoyed. And I really did enjoy this one. The only thing that bothered me is because I read it, like, flipped through it physically. But I also had the audio in, and there was so many times that, like, the words on the page were different from the words being read. Not so much that you lost your plot point or whatever, but it was aggravating to me that it wasn't read exactly how it was written. So other than that, I really didn't have a problem with it. So it was pretty good though. All right, and the final one is one that I saw like everybody reading last year or the year before, whatever it was. This one is The Hunting Wives by May Cobb. And this one right here was crazy. We have Sophie, I believe her name was. Yes, Sophie, and she is married to Graham. Well, Sophie and Graham decide to move to this small town in Texas. They're from Chicago, and the reason that they are here in this small town is because Sophie, at some point, went to school, like junior, senior year, went to school in a small town. She enjoyed it so much. But then when she comes back, she realizes it's not quite the same. Like, things have changed since she was in high school. So anyway, she has one friend. It's like her best friend that lives there. So she's like, yeah, let's go live here. So they do. I think her husband is a architect or something. And she decides she's going to be kind of like a stay-at-home mom who runs a blog. And it'll be like gardening, household stuff, So she decides she's going to do that. Well, along the way, they wind up at this party, and she gets introduced to this person named Margot, and she's invited into their little clique. Yeah, Margot, Callie, Jill, and I can't think who the other person is at this moment. There's a fourth lady. So the four of those ladies, they always do something on Friday nights, like a girls' night. So Sophie was like, yeah, totally, I'm going to do this. Come to find out, they go out to Margot, the main person, and they go out to her land and they shoot skeets. And then they drink. Oh my God, they drink so much, my liver was starting to freaking hurt. Like, I would be damn near dead in a corner with the amount that these women put down on a Friday night. It is insane. Also, it gives you Mean Girls vibes. Like Margot is the head mean girl, and the other ones give off those vibes as well. But then we have Sophie, the newcomer, who she is kind of slightly obsessed with Margot, I feel. And I feel like some of it's not 100% healthy. Like, it's that weird thing there. And these women, they get together, they shoot, they do go out, they kind of cheat on their husbands, but they don't go all the way. There's just a whole bunch going on there. And then all of a sudden, a teenage girl's body, like, this girl goes missing, and then her body is found. And all the clues point to Sophie. So Sophie, the newcomer, is now basically thrown into this like her life is a murder investigation type thing, and she has to earn her way out of it. She has to prove that she didn't do what was being done, like what was said. So she has to prove, like, hey, I'm not a murderer. Like, I didn't do this. Somebody's setting me up. And they have to go through the whole process, and just the way she handles it. And poor girl, I just feel like her life's going to implode. But then on the second thing, I'm like, you kind of brought it upon yourself. You decided to go hang out with these mean girls and do all the things that they're doing. And you really don't even know them that well. Like, you just met these women, and yeah, I'm going to go shoot with y'all. Please, girl, you don't do that. But yeah, so, like I say, she finds herself in a really weird situation where she's in a murder investigation. She's under investigation. And she has to prove herself, and just the way, like, her husband kind of reacts to it, and I don't blame him at all. There are some trigger warnings in here you might want to look them up. I didn't see that coming because I didn't look them up prior. And I really didn't fully read the synopsis prior, so I just kind of went into it a little bit blind. But I enjoyed it. I really did. It definitely felt like an older version of the movie Mean Girls. There's a lot the clickiness, the attitude, the peer pressure, the whole 9 yards. So yeah, that's what I read this week. Pretty much had a lot of stuff to catch up on around the house. If this video sounded a little echoey, that's another reason. Like this room that I'm in, I had some stuff I had to clean out of it. I'm still cleaning, I'm still rearranging, so a lot more to do. But hopefully I can find some good audiobooks for next week and just listen while I'm working. That's my motivation. If I don't have an audiobook, I'm not wasting my time doing a chore. Like I need, you know what I mean? That's my motivation to get stuff done. So, what are you guys audiobooking? Let me know. Maybe I can try to get it free from the library and have something good to listen to. So, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye, guys.